This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to grow your beautiful online presence and run your business, and having a website's important. I started my blog, TomWard.com, 4 years ago, and it ended up getting me a job at Forbes. You never know where it'll take you. And I chose Squarespace simply because their sites look the best. They have powerful blogging tools to help you add video, a picture, or even something simple like written word, and it'll make it look incredible. I also love their email marketing campaign manager. I used to use a third party to do this. Now that it's under one roof, it makes it so much easier. And finally, data. They give you the data you need to run your website. So head over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/TomWard to get 10% off your first order. Thanks, guys.
Hey y'all, it's Addison. I just sat down with Tom and we talked about lots of exciting things, so tune in.
Hey, we're sitting here with the great Addison Rae. Welcome to the Tom Ward Show, where I interview the biggest creators in the world. And make sure you like and subscribe and turn on notifications. I've got Charlie D'Amelio and I've got Nessa Barrett coming up next. I interviewed you back in February, right? Yes. And at the time, you had 13 million followers. Now, in July, you're the second most followed person on the platform with 47 million followers. Like, explain that jump and how things have changed since February.
It's honestly just been so crazy and eye-opening to me. Like, wow, this is so many people, like so many people know me and know of me. And I think it's the most bizarre thing ever to me, because I still feel like a girl, that I was in Louisiana, the same person. I feel like exactly the same person, actually. And the only difference is, like, now more people know me, which is so awesome, and I'm so grateful and blessed. But it's been a ride for sure. And I think so much has obviously changed since February, even just, with the world and social media and as a whole. So it's been fun to kind of be on the ride of it.
It's wild you say more people know you. I think that's an understatement, because now you're at a different level of celebrity, right? Then maybe back in February, you were kind of in teen magazines and those kind of things, and maybe once in a while kind of getting more mainstream, bigger stuff. But now, you're hanging out with the Kardashians. You're in People magazine. They're reporting about you on Entertainment Tonight, like your dating life and everything that's going on with you. Like, has that level of fame changed a lot, do you think, since the beginning of the year?
I definitely think it has, in like ways. I think it's for sure, like, my life is more broadcasted to more people now. And I mean, I still, like I said, I still feel the same, but I think it for sure has made its way up a little further.
I mean, you're at the level of, like I just said, the kind of Kim Kardashian, Angelina Jolie. I mean, I saw you, and I won't touch on this, right? But I saw you and Bryce coming out of the Boa restaurant the other night, and there were so many flashes going off. It was literally like Kim and Kanye were coming out of the restaurant.
Love them first.
But you really are like them to a certain generation, to maybe people under 18, like especially you guys. You were the couple, and you are that major celebrity to your fans.
Yeah, I think that's so funny just to hear, because I feel like I don't ever really look at it that way. But I think, my supporters and people that follow me and love me are just the best people ever. And I try my best to kind of interact with them, and I'll go like respond to group messages on Instagram. And it just makes me so happy seeing that, people that love me are also so happy and positive, and it just makes me smile. I think it's so amazing.
You really respond to DMs?
Yeah, I'll go in like the group chats they'll make of like a bunch of the my like support pages, and I try to like respond and like have conversations with them every once in a while, and they'll like freak out, and it's the cutest thing ever. Like I love them so much.
I asked questions on like TikTok, and well, mainly on TikTok, give me some last minute questions, give me some fan questions, which we'll get to for Addison. And you look at like the people commenting, it's like Bradison 123 or Addison fans 678. You know what I mean? There's like you had so many Addison users out there, like just supporters of you. It's insane.
Yeah, it's insane to me as well. Just even thinking that people, want to make support pages is so like I just love it. I don't know. It's so cute. It's so sweet and just makes me so happy that I can even inspire people or, make people want to be happier or I don't know. It just blows my mind. I think it's so awesome.
Now that you have 50 million, and we're just talking TikTok, forget Instagram, forget all the stuff you have going on YouTube and stuff, just TikTok, 50 million people, which is insane. Like now, can you interact with them as much? When you go through an airport, are you just getting bombarded with, hey, can you make a TikTok with me? Can you take a picture with me? Is it hard to kind of maneuver now or harder to?
I think, in a sense, it is like a little bit harder. I think people definitely are more likely to recognize me now than they were back in February. But I love it so much. I think, seeing people that know me or get excited to see me just makes my heart so happy. So anytime I see someone and they recognize me, I'm like, let's have a conversation. Like I love just talking to people and just seeing how they are. And I think it's just so awesome that people do want to have a conversation with me or meet me or take a photo. And I'm always up for that. So any chance I get, I love to conversate with people who are just so sweet and support me.
Well, not only do you have fans following you around, you've got paparazzi following you around, which is kind of crazy. And you tweeted the other day something about the Hollywood fix. What was it? Like the
I said
devil?
the devil works hard, but the Hollywood fix guy works harder.
So what do you mean by that?
It's just so funny because he's always on his grind and getting everywhere people are. So I applaud him for that, his diligence in his work. But it's so funny to me because when I tweeted that, I was like, this for sure, like so many people are gonna laugh at this because like my friends, like we all know and like think it's so awesome that he's always on the run and making his efforts to get his job done. So.
Well, it's wild that people are that invested, and they absolutely are invested in your relationships. I mean, ridiculously. I mean, they want a certain thing, and that's it. And if anyone comes at you too with any hate, they support you to the nth degree. And it's wild because you're so positive and you have such a bubbly personality, and you're really controversy free, but you've experienced some hate kind of in the last couple weeks, which is a new thing because before this, I can't name anybody. I know there were some body shaming things that kind of went on before. But how do you deal with that now? It's not just always fans supporting you and saying, we love you. How do you deal with this other thing that's kind of going on?
I think the body shaming for sure is something that is hard to talk about sometimes. And I think there are times when it's easier. And unfortunately, like right now is like one of the harder times because I think it's affecting me a lot more than people realize right now. And I think people don't understand that when someone, I think people get confused because I post swimsuit pictures and I'm able to post like crop tops and stuff like that. And then people will be like, oh, like, they'll make a comment and saying like something about my body and I look overweight or, the things they say. And then it's like, they're like, oh, well, it won't get to her because she posts in bikinis and stuff. Like she's not going to care. And I think it's like, people don't realize that even if I were to be like, I love my body and I'm confident in who I am, then you read comments that are like telling you shouldn't be, it definitely makes you overthink that. And you really start to tell yourself like, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should lose weight. Maybe, even with the pregnancy rumor, like people were circling my stomach and being like, she's definitely getting bigger. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, well, that's not true. Like I'm not pregnant. So like, I don't know. It just like would make me really look in the mirror and be like, okay, maybe like I need to change myself and not be the way I am because people don't like it and are pointing it out and making me just feel really insecure about it. But I think the best thing I can do is just realize that, these people probably don't really know me or know my heart or know me outside of what they want to think on social media. So I try not to let it get to me. And there definitely is times that it does. So I can't sit here and act like, I'm just going to brush everything off all the time, because I don't. And it definitely does hurt me. And I just want people to know that it's okay to be upset, and you don't always have to put on, a smile and act like everything's okay. And I think that's what my biggest thing was for such a long time. I'd be like, I'm happy all the time. I never am sad. And then like just in these past few weeks, I've been like, it's okay to admit it and be like, hey, I'm not okay. But it gets better for sure.
I think that's a great message for your fans, because social media is tough out there. I mean, you're at an elevated level where somebody with 200 followers won't obviously get all the comments you do, but there is bullying and there is hate going on there. It could be some kid at school that just doesn't like them and always comments mean stuff there. So I think that's kind of a good message for kids out there and your fans. But the other thing too is you took a recent break from social media, and I was laughing when you were saying the pregnancy stuff, and I wasn't laughing because I thought it was true or anything. No, 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 God, no. Addison fans don't cancel me, please. No, because it's so ridiculous. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't post for a couple of days and people jump to these insane theories. Is like all the tea channels and all the constant gossiping about your relationships and what she's wearing today and what is she hiding and all this other stuff. Does that take the fun out of it a little bit? And is that why you took a break? Like, I gotta chill for a sec.
I don't think it necessarily takes the fun out of anything, because I think I love posting and I love interacting with people that follow me. So I don't think it takes the fun out of it. I definitely think it does get hard to hear a bunch of, stuff about yourself that isn't true. But I will say that the break that I had was great for my mental health. And I think it was a good time to step back and just, put things in my head like, hey, look, you are good enough. You don't have to listen to people that are saying these hurtful things to you. Like, they don't know you. And I think it's always important to have a mental break for however long you need to just really refocus and understand what exactly you're doing and if you really love it or not. And I think for me, it, reminded me how much I love social media and I love being on it. And I love being an influence and I love just speaking to people. But there definitely are times whenever it does get hard, and a break sometimes is necessary.
And it's wild too, because it is somewhat of an addiction. Well, I mean, your life is on your phone. So I'm sure you're on phone, God knows how many hours, but it's your job, so you're getting paid for it. That's kind of different. When I was at the Hype House with you guys in February, I remember I was with Thomas and Chase, and I asked them, we were talking about TikTok, and I said, how long are people on TikTok for? And Thomas is like, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours a day. And I posted that clip, and the comments were like, 4 to 6 hours, that's nothing. I'm on 8 hours a day. I'm on 10 hours a day, 12 hours. I'm like, how do you go to school and like eat or do anything, go to the bathroom, like being on there that long?
Yeah.
I think it's tough for all of us to step back and take a break.
Yeah, no, it definitely is hard because, a lot of us rely on our phone and love being on it, but it's always good to kind of separate reality from the internet or social media. So I definitely recommend, everyone to take a step back every once in a while just to appreciate life outside of a phone.
Oh, absolutely. Again, I was told not to talk about Bryce, right? But I just had one question kind of in that realm, let's say, right? I'm not asking if you're dating or anything, so don't worry. But what is the obsession? And it is an obsession. And is it too much pressure? Not just with you two, but just everybody's input on relationships and kind of the areas of your life, and it's particularly that. Does it get to be too much sometimes?
I don't necessarily think so. I think there are times when, you see like friends getting like shipped, if you will, and it's just like funny. I mean, in the big picture, we all just like, we'll be like, oh, that's so funny. Like, it's cute that people think that, or like, it's cute that people will put people together. I don't think anyone takes it too hard to heart whenever it's something like that. And I think at the end of the day, we do what feels best for us and best for each other. So I think it doesn't really do as much damage as I feel like people think it would.
Yeah, I think it would be just annoying hearing the same thing over and over again. And that's why I was told not to, but I wouldn't ask you that question anyway, because I'm sure you're asked that more than any other question you've ever been asked in your life, right?
Yeah, about my relationship status.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's, it just comes with it. People want to know and can't blame them. I mean, it's definitely interesting.
Is it wild too? Because we're talking about kind of getting elevated press and now you're in People Magazine, you're Entertainment Tonight, which my mom used to watch, and they would report on Meg Ryan or whatever, right? You are being covered in Entertainment Tonight. You're in E! News, and people are interested in every aspect of your life. Do you ever get used to that?
I feel like I have gotten more used to it, but it still is pretty crazy to wrap my head around that people care about me.
Oh, very much. And now you're hanging with the Kardashians. Like, you just keep getting bigger every day. Like, how did you even end up collabing with them or hooking up with them?
I met them through a friend. I met Courtney through a friend, through David. And we had surprised Mason because Mason liked my videos on TikTok. And then, yeah, I kind of just stuck around and we got really close and we started working out together. And we did a video on her YouTube of us doing a butt workout and stuff. So that was fun.
When have you been starstruck? I mean, was it sitting with Courtney, or like, who have you met? You meet famous people all the time, but like, who was it?
I feel like honestly, it takes me a second, but because I feel like it's normal now when I'm around people. Like I don't flip out or like freak out or anything, but I definitely do when I'm like alone, when I'm like by myself. I'm like, what is my life? Like I don't necessarily like, freak out about a single individual, but like I'll overall look at it and be like, what is my life? Why am I driving to Malibu right now? Like, where am I? And I think it's just because I'm not, from here. So it's still like crazy to me that I even live in Los Angeles. So I always think that. And I sit outside with my parents all the time and we'll just like die laughing about the fact that like, we're like, what's going on? It's just so funny to us.
Well, that's funny too. When we're going to talk about the podcast you've got coming out with your mom next week, it'll be already released when we release this. But your parents are now repped by WME. Like, is that insane? Like,
yeah,
your parents, like, they're your parents. They're not celebrities to you.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And I'm so glad that my family is with me on this crazy journey that we all took on. So I'm really lucky that I live with them still because I don't know what I would do without them. And my mom and dad are some of my favorite people in the world. So luckily I am doing the podcast with my mom, which is going to be so much fun. And hopefully we can talk about a lot of interesting things that people want to know.
So let's go to your podcast, right? It's called Mama Knows Best. It's going to be available exclusively on Spotify. And you're going to kind of ask your mom for advice, and then you're going to open up about relationships, friends, family, and everything. Talk a little bit more about it. It's a 25-minute podcast. What else are you guys going to cover?
So we are going to cover lots of different things. It'll already be released by this, so people will know that, there's episodes about my life and how when I was born and up until now, and just kind of everything about me that people just didn't know. So we're going to talk about a lot of that. Then we talk about dating, friendships, like you said, things like now and then. So like comparing when my mom was a teenager to when I'm 19, and then also like doing the advice. So like if I have questions for my mom and she's obviously more knowledge than I am with her experience, then I'll ask her those and kind of just let people hear.
Nice. Is it tough to decide, because you have to constantly come up with new content every day? You've got TikTok stuff you got to do. You've got Instagram. We'll talk about YouTube in a sec. Now you've got that. You've got now a podcast on Spotify. Is it tough, like when you wake up in the morning and go, oh shit, what am I going to do today? How am I going to post 4 times on TikTok, or how am I going to post on Instagram, or what am I going to do? Like, do you wake up every morning thinking about that? Like, what am I going to do?
I definitely have changed the way I handle my days. So like 6 months ago, I probably was less scheduled, but now I definitely have like a set schedule every day that I try to get myself to keep up so I can manage my business side of things. And then also like the podcast, putting thoughts into that, speaking to my team about that. And then also just continuing to post content whenever I feel the need.
Does it become a job in some ways? Because now it's not just, hey, I feel like filming a TikTok with my friends. There's brands involved and there's commitments to be made and stuff. Um, does that take the fun out of it a little bit sometimes, knowing that I have to do one tomorrow? I don't just want to, I have to. I have to do one and it's got to be posted at noon or whatever.
No, I don't think it does. I think this is something that I love to do, and I've always loved to make videos and take photos and stuff. So it's always been fun, and I think it'll stay that way for me because I just really enjoy it.
Nice. You're also going to have a beef of the week in there where you and your mom talk about the biggest argument you've had in the last week. Do you guys, you came up together. A lot of your early videos with your mom kind of blew up.
Mm-hmm.
You guys seem like you love each other. I mean, of course you do, but it doesn't seem like you bicker a lot. Is there a lot of beefs that's going to be had?
Uh, Everyone asks this. I feel like because in the beginning everyone was like, "Oh, I wish I was as close as you and your mom. You guys never fight. Y'all love each other so much." And of course, we love each other so much. But there is 100% fights we have, and they don't always end pretty. But I feel like I don't know. People always will be like, "Oh, they're so happy and like smiling." They definitely never argue, but we definitely do. So there will be some interesting arguments that are going to be on the podcast.
What about a reality show? I mean, you guys are so close. You live in the same house. I'm sure you've thought about that, right?
Yeah, we've definitely put thought into a lot of family content and things around our family. So fingers crossed for anything in the future that comes out, whether that be that or, just doing more TikToks or YouTube or things like that. I just love people being able to see my family and kind of the behind the scenes of everything, which is way more than I think people think. And, lots of arguments, lots of family drama, just everything from up and down. So kind of just, I think either way, I'd love for the world to see my family and get to know us more.
Very cool. Well, we're almost out of time. I've got some fan questions for you. Thousands and thousands of replies. It's insane. So we'll just hit a couple of them. What would you do? This is a good one. What would you do if TikTok got banned? I mean, we had that scare a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I think if TikTok got banned and it was for our safety, I think 100% I understand that. Our safety for sure matters first for everyone that is on TikTok. And I think I have lots of, brand opportunities and projects that I'm working on coming up and my podcast. I definitely would put a lot of energy and time, even more so, into those things as well as posting content on other platforms. So it would definitely be really sad because TikTok is where everything came for me. So I hope that doesn't happen. Fingers crossed that it doesn't and it stays. But if it does, if it's a safety concern, I can't disagree.
What's your favorite place to shop?
My favorite place to shop is probably, I love Melrose because there's a lot of just like little stores that are like not always super known, which is so fun for me. And I love American Eagle. They have amazing jeans and clothes. They're super comfortable. And probably any like workouts places, like workout gear, like leggings.
Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show is, this one's a hard one. Honestly, I haven't watched very many TV shows recently, but Big Little Lies is a really good one that I love.
That is a great show. This is a good one too. If you got a tattoo, what would it be?
If I got a tattoo, it would be a dot.
A dot? What kind of tattoo is that? It's terrible.
Well, I wouldn't want anything too crazy that I might regret. So.
Oh, there you go. Very smart. A lot of people want to know, are you still friends with Mads?
Yeah, of course.
Oh. And then finally, can you do a room tour? I think that'd be kind of cool too.
Yeah, for sure. Not right now. As you can tell, I have a lot of stuff on my bed and it's a little bit messy, but coming soon to a YouTube channel near you.
Nice. So let's wrap up Tom's top 5. I always ask people 5 questions, their top 5. For you, Addison, who are your top 5 YouTubers?
Oh gosh. All right. This is no order. Okay. I'll say David Dobrik, Bryce Hall, James Charles. I have so many and I feel like I hate pointing them out. I think Bretman Rock, he's hilarious. And this is the last spot. I would say Thomas.
Nice. Well, thank you so much, Addison. Make sure you guys subscribe for interviews with your favorite influencers. Next month, we've got Charlie D'Amelio and Nessa, so subscribe so you don't miss them. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tom.